To support reading comprehension, we often ask students to track their thinking about a text. We can do that in a couple different ways. One is note-taking, the other is annotating. Note-taking is simply when we ask them to lift important information from the text and put it on a graphic organizer or a separate sheet of paper, whereas annotating is having them put those thoughts within the lines and margins of the text itself. Although annotation isn't a new concept, it does sometimes cause some misunderstandings. One of the biggest is that annotation is all about marks, codes, and symbols. Some teachers provide students a list of different codes and symbols to use when they read. They're to circle important words and underline key ideas, maybe use question marks when they're confused or asterisks for important information. And all of this is fabulous, especially when all teachers are using the same codes and symbols. However, just using codes and symbols isn't enough. Let me show you this example about archaeology, in particular about a midden. And I want you to notice within this passage that it has circled information, kind of like the key words that might be important. Some information is underlined because it must be important for some reason. When students only annotate text with codes and symbols, it looks a lot like this passage about archaeology. The reader did highlight important information with circled words and underlined ideas and even some numbers and symbols. But the problem is, a day or two from now, the reader won't know what he or she meant by all of that underlined and coded text. More than just having kids highlight important information, let's teach them to why-light it. Why are you highlighting this text? Why did you circle that word? Well, I'm not sure what it means. I'm thinking it might mean garbage. Why did you number those? Well, because those are the things that you find in trash. What is important about this paragraph of markings that archaeologists only have trash to look at? Do you see the difference when we ask students to why-light? In other words, explain why are you highlighting that information? The whole point of why-lighting is that it adds an element of the thinking the reader had when reading the text initially. Next to the circled words or underlined ideas, we want them to put the thoughts they were having, the actual question they questioned, the actual connection that they made. All of this elevates highlighting to the next level. It makes it much more powerful annotations, and it's why we call it why-lighting.